Some creatures hunt, some attack, some kill without warning. But the ones we remember most are the ones that never had to. These are the stories of beings that didn't force their victims to come closer. They didn't chase, they convinced people to come on their own. Number 5. Sirens. The sirens come from ancient Greek mythology, first appearing in texts more than 2,000 years old. They were said to live on rocky islands along the Mediterranean coast, in narrow shipping routes where sailors had no room to turn back once they heard them. The sirens are usually described as monsters who drag sailors to their deaths, but that isn't how original stories tell it. The sirens never touched the ships, they sang. Accounts describe the song as beautiful, but more importantly, personal. It promised knowledge, answers, something the listener felt was meant specifically for them. Sailors didn't rush toward the sound in panic. They slowed down, they listened, and by the time they realized the danger wasn't the voice, they were already steering towards the rocks. The sirens didn't pull anyone into the sea. They convinced people they wanted to come. Number 4. The Pontianak. The Pontianak comes from Southeast Asian folklore, particularly Indonesia, Malaysia, and Singapore. The legend is tied to places on the edge of human settlement, banana groves, palm tree plantations, and quiet stretches of jungle. The Pontianak isn't known for chasing people, it's known for deceiving people. Witnesses describe the sound of a woman crying in the distance, soft at first, almost easy to ignore. The closer you get, the quieter the crying becomes. And when the sound stops completely, that's when people realize they've come too far. In traditional stories, the Pontianak appears as a grieving or injured woman, not threatening, not aggressive, just vulnerable. People followed the sound because they thought someone needed help. It was empathy that carried them into the arms of something inhuman. Number 3. The Wendigo. The Wendigo comes from Native American folklore, rooted in the forests of Canada and the northern United States. These stories come from places shaped by long winters, isolation, and scarcity. The Wendigo is often linked to hunger taken too far, but some of the most unsettling accounts focus on something else entirely: the voice. In these stories, the Wendigo calls out from deep in the forest, not shouting, not screaming, but speaking calmly. Sometimes it cries for help, sometimes it imitates a human voice perfectly. Survivors say the voice always sounds close enough that ignoring it feels wrong. People followed it because they believed someone was lost, and by the time they realized the sound wasn't human, it was too late. It wasn't the force that drew them in, it was the belief that someone needed them. Number 2. The Kitsune. The Kitsune comes from Japanese folklore, where fox spirits are believed to gain intelligence and supernatural abilities as they age. Unlike other deceivers on this list, Kitsune aren't known for brief encounters, they're known for living among humans. In traditional stories, Kitsune can take on human form, often appearing as ordinary people, sometimes as lovers, friends, or spouses. The deception isn't obvious, it unfolds slowly. Entire relationships are built on trust that feel completely real. In some legends, the human never discover the truth. They live a full life, unaware that the person beside them was never human at all. In others, the revelation comes late, after years have passed, after families are formed and lives are shared. This isn't a creature that lures you into danger in a moment of weakness. It rewrites your reality over time. The trick isn't getting close, it's realizing too late that everything you trusted was a lie. Number 1. The Nuclevi. The Nuclevi comes from Scottish folklore, specifically the Orkney Islands, a remote chain north of mainland Scotland. It's a place shaped by harsh weather, isolation, and the sea, and the legends reflect that. The Nuclevi isn't subtle. It doesn't disguise itself. It doesn't mimic human voices or appear harmless. It is described as something so unnatural and overwhelming that people don't approach it out of curiosity. They hesitate. In the stories, witnesses don't describe being chased. They describe freezing, being unable to move, unable to look away, convinced they still have a moment to react. That belief is the deception. The Nuclevi doesn't trick you into coming closer. It tricks you into thinking you have time. And by the time the illusion breaks, it's too late. None of these creatures relied on strength. They relied on something more familiar. Curiosity, kindness, trust. They didn't chase, they convinced people to come on their own. And the most unsettling part isn't that these stories exist. It's that in every case, the first step was voluntary.